Welcome back to Behind the Caution Tape. I'm your host, CrashLit. It's been a busy week with USC athletics. It's another busy week coming up. And okay, so before I get into this, obviously I had a lot of fun at baseball with USC beating UCLA in the Crosstown Showdown, but it was also a bit of a difficult weekend as there was some personal news with regarding a close friend and just some things that happened. I'm not going to get into it, but if I get choked up at all during this episode, that's why. I'm currently in Mammoth, but let's get into this. So I apologize in advance if I get choked up at all during this. So let's start some news from football, as the big news there is so there's been a bit of news. First, congrats to Kyle Ford for getting an invite to the Raiders rookie minicamp, to Gavin Meyer for getting invites to both the Chiefs and the Dolphins rookie minicamps, and Michael Lance for an invite to the Chargers rookie minicamp. And then also, head coach Lincoln Riley announced that USC will be parting ways with sports performance director Benny Wiley in a decision that he said that was, according to sources and Riley, it was a football decision. So we'll see what happens with that, and definitely an interesting timing for sure, but we'll see what this yields going forward. As for men's basketball, Alijah Arenas has been released from the hospital, and then USC has their Big Ten opponents for next year. So pretty much, I think it's for the most part all flipped in terms of who USC played last year versus the year before, whereas I think pretty much all the opponents flipped with all the things. So USC will play UCLA, Washington, and Oregon twice during the Big Ten, and then the seven teams coming to Galen Center for conference play are Illinois, Northwestern, Indiana, Purdue, Maryland, Rutgers, and Nebraska. And then the conference games will be Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. So official dates, times, and TV assignments will be announced at a later date, according to a statement from the team. As for the women's team, they also got their Big Ten opponents for the 2025 for next season announced. So USC will have a home and home with UCLA like last year, and then I think it's also flipped too. So USC's away home opponents this year are Indiana, Iowa, Maryland, Oregon, Purdue, Rutgers, Washington, and Wisconsin. And away will be Illinois, Michigan, Michigan State, Minnesota, Nebraska, Northwestern, Ohio State, and Penn State. So these are definitely going to be some good matchups again. Definitely going to be really interesting to see how this team comes together. And it seems like obviously the parts are starting to come, but we'll see what Lindsay Gottlieb and her staff do over the summer. Track and field saw both the men's and women's teams lose to UCLA in the annual dual meet at Drake Stadium in Westwood yesterday. But there were some highlights with Ashley Erasmus winning the shot put, and Nathan Cumberbatch winning the 1500 meter and 800 meter running events. But it was still not enough to help USC win. UCLA was very dominant on the women's side. The men's came down to the end, but just couldn't quite go up couldn't quite pull it off. And up next, it's the Outdoor Big Ten Championships at Hayward Field in Eugene. So USC has an opportunity to recover after falling in the dual meet and get ready for the NCAAs. Women's volleyball had their final spring action on Saturday when they went up to UC Santa Barbara. It was the final day of spring ball for USC. No scores were reported, and that's it for women's volleyball spring ball. And then congrats to incoming freshman Abigail Mullen for making the USA Volleyball U21 women's national team. Men's volleyball, meanwhile, also had some players make USA teams, with incoming freshmen making the Kale Cochran, Cooper Keene, Noah Mabon, and Blake Fallbush making the USA Volleyball under-19 team, and current USC players Caleb Blanchette, Johnny Dykstra, Sterling Foley, and Parker Tompkinson making the USA Volleyball under-21 team. Then also the AVCA awards came in today, with Dylan Klein making the first team, Parker Tompkinson making the second team, and Caleb Blanchette, Johnny Dykstra, Sterling Foley, and Guy Guinness all being named honorable mentions. So congrats to all of them for incredible athletes. So USC Rowing took part in the Oregon State Invitational in Lowell, Oregon on Saturday and saw their third varsity eight, second varsity four, and third varsity four win their races in the Oregon State Invitational. So up next is the Big Ten Championships in Indianapolis on May 17th and 18th. So best of luck to them, and hopefully they can, make a run there and have a shot at the NCAAs. Men's golf, meanwhile, got selected to the Tallahassee Regional on to keep their postseason dream alive. They will be there and that'll run from May 12th through the 14th, so next week. So it's an opportunity to keep the season going and just start the postseason campaign. So really excited that men's golf gets the opportunity to continue their season. And meanwhile, women's golf started this morning actually in their Lexington regional that runs from today through Saturday. And their opening lineup is their opening lineup for the event will be so they're open, and so they have announced their lineup, sorry. And they will pretty much be their opening lineup will be Bailey Shoemaker, Catherine Park, Kylie Chong, Cindy Koo, and Jasmine Koo. So best of luck to the women's golf team as they need to come ready to go to keep their season going and make it into the next round. Men's tennis, meanwhile, had a great weekend as well, winning 4-0 against Arizona State in the first round of the NCAAs on Saturday, and then following that up with a 4-2 win on Sunday against San Diego, both hosted by San Diego for the first rounds against the Sun Devils. USC got the doubles point with Nathan Trove, Carly, and Matteo Morazzi winning their singles matches to advance the Trojans on a sweep. And then against the Toreros, USC got revenge from earlier this year when they fell on the road to USD. USD got the doubles point, but the Trojans got singles wins from Trove, Oscar Waitman, Lee, and Morazzi to secure the duel. And due to weather and just long singles matches that most of went to 3 sets, the duel lasted 8 hours. So USC is now 16-10 and into the Super Regional. So up next, they will go on the road at UCLA on Friday at 2 p.m. And pretty much another opportunity to beat UCLA. Obviously, Trojans have beaten the Bruins twice this year already. Definitely going to be a tough one coming up. But still, USC it's a good opportunity for USC to find a way to keep their season going and make it to the final round. So really excited for the Trojans. And I'm super just ready to see what they've got. So yeah, another opportunity for USC to beat UCLA and keep the season going, get into the national quarterfinals. Women's tennis, who's ranked 17th, 18th in the country, fell in the second round. They won the first round in a 4-0 sweep over Memphis in the first round in Baton Rouge, then lost to host and 13th ranked LSU in the second round. Against Memphis, USC got the doubles point, and Emma Charney, Lily Fairclough, and Jana Hossam won singles matches to sweep Memphis. But against LSU got the doubles point, and Simone K was the lone Trojan to win a singles match. So USC finishes the season 17-8. Congrats on a great season. I'm looking forward to seeing them back out next year. Lacrosse found out over the weekend that they did not make the NCAA tournament and finished the season 10-7. So that means USC's season is over. But looking forward to seeing them bounce back next year, especially with them having now Rawlinson Stadium is set to be completed in time for their season next year. Beach volleyball, the 5th seed overall in the NCAA championship, fell in the quarterfinals on Friday, won 3-0 against North Florida in the first round, but then the following day lost 3-1 to LMU in the quarterfinals. So they finished the season 27-11. Definitely a tougher season compared to the past few. It's hard to win as much as they have, but credit, I think, what I really am optimistic for about the future is obviously they had a great year still, but I'm confident that just they had a lot of younger players, and this year I think they're going to really step up and really prove that they're going to be a much better team, especially with more veteran leadership, especially with Ashley Pater, Maven Thomas, and Madison White all set to return as upperclassmen and really just lead this team, and I think they're going to be really good. Women's water polo set to is set to be the number 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. They will take a 27-4 overall record into it. And then round one, they will face Harvard at 2 p.m. on Friday. And you can watch that on NCAA.com. The semifinals are against UCLA or LMU at 11 a.m. on the NCAA.com on Saturday. And then the final will be at 9 a.m. on ESPNU. That'll be Sunday. So opportunity for water polo to bring home another national championship after what was a really great season, but was a tough last couple of weeks to end the regular season and into the postseason. And then our final sport to talk about today is baseball. So the team had a great week overall. They went 3-1 to start off the week. They got an 8-0 win at CSUN on Tuesday. And during that game, USC just struck first in the top of the second, just never looked back. Then a 5-run seventh inning put the game out of reach. Andrew Lamb just went absolutely off. He was 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs, 3 runs, a home run, a triple, a double, and a walk. So a really impressive stat line from Lamb, who has been absolutely raking at the plate these last few weeks. And then against UCLA in the Crosstown Showdown rivalry series at Great Park from Friday to Sunday, USC took 2 out of 3 to win the Crosstown Showdown. So fours down there. They lost 7-6 on Sunday, won 7-5 on lost 7-6 on Friday, pardon me. Won 7-5 on Saturday and then won 11-5 on Sunday. So in game one, Caden Hunter had a tough start on the mound and gave up 5 runs. And despite USC's comeback bid, which came down to the final out, USC couldn't overcome its bad start and just couldn't capitalize on opportunities. They stranded a lot of guys on base, which is always just frustrating to see, especially when you get runners into scoring position. Those are potential runs right there that could have been the difference. Game two, Caden Aoki, after throwing a complete game last week at Minnesota, follows it up with a solid 7 innings and just absolutely dominated on the mound. And then Andrew Lamb, Augie Lopez, and Avery Covarrubias all had big games to help USC offensively and then helped USC hold on to a grand slam that the Bruins got in the eighth. And then after Brody Purcell was struggling, Ethan Hedges came in to get the save and help USC hold on to even up the series. So game three, the rubber match. That was the game I played the national anthem, and my IG takeover was Friday. Yeah, performance went well. And UCLA, so UCLA struck first in game three after I did the national anthem. Got a 3-run homer in the top of the first, but Andrew Johnson who came in relief with 1 out in the game, had 6 1/3 solid innings of work. And then Grant Cavell also was good in both his appearances this weekend on Friday and Sunday. He did a good job. And then Lamb, Augie Lopez, and Hedges all had homers in the game to help put the game out of reach. And then Andrew Lamb, as I said earlier, has just been a bright spot for this team of late. And had hit a home run in 3 of the 4 games this week. And then Augie Lopez also had a solid game on Sunday this week too. So just they've been bright spots for this team. So it's really excited to see them. And then Andrew Johnson had a great outing and he's definitely making a case, as it seems like from what I've seen, there's not a clear-cut Sunday starter. So Johnson may have just made the case to get the start this Sunday. So we'll see what USC decides to do. Not uncommon to see them go with kind of the bullpen game on Sundays like they kind of tend to on Tuesdays. So we'll see what head coach Andy Stankiewicz does there. So USC is now ranked for the first time this season, coming in at number 25 in the country. So really excited for them to see how that all goes. But they got a tough week coming up. So they're 25th now in the nation, and they now sit 32-15 overall, 16-8 in Big Ten play. So they're still in tied third. They've won 8 straight series, as I said. So up next this week, they go on the road for a rematch against UC Santa Barbara, who's 30-16 on the year, tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. on ESPN Plus. And then the Trojans come back to Great Park from Friday to Sunday to host Michigan State, who is 24-21 overall, 10-14 in Big Ten play at Great Park. The start times will be Friday at 6:30 Saturday at 2 and Sunday at 1. All three games will be on Big Ten Plus. So USC has an opportunity to win. Is really contending for the Big Ten title this year, which is super exciting, and they have a good opportunity to get good quality win on Tuesday and position itself well, especially if they can not just win the series against Michigan State, but sweep the Spartans altogether and just really be in a good position for the postseason. So I think this is a really exciting time for USC baseball. If you haven't made it to a game yet this year, this is your final opportunity to make it down to Great Park, as then they have one more game, a rematch against CSUN on a week from tomorrow at LMU. So definitely only four more opportunities in person to cheer on the squad, but definitely really excited for it. So last week I went 3-1 at the games I went to. So baseball winning against CSUN, and then the 2 out of 3 wins against UCLA. So that's my 3-1 right there. That puts me at 97-35 on the season. Good. Hoping I can pull off 100 before this is over. 310-117 all time, and then 15-8 this year at baseball. So my plans this week are going to be baseball against Michigan State on Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday is still to be determined. Sorry. Based on if based on based on what goes on with Mother's Day and what my mom wants to do there. So I do have to obviously be a good son that day, which I'm happy to do, but just a lot of it's going to depend on if she wants to go, and I don't want to force her to go to it if she doesn't want to. So that's my schedule for this week. And that's going to do it for us here on Behind the Caution Tape. Be sure to use my coupon code FightOnCC for 15% off your order from Knickknack. Be sure to check out my website, CrashLit.com. Be sure to follow me everywhere at CrashLit. Comment, subscribe to this podcast, either video or audio, depending on what your preference is. I'm sorry again about today. Just really hit me hard today. I got the news last night, and I think just texting people now, it's just starting to come back and hit me. So hopefully, yeah. So yeah, that's all I got for you today. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. I'll see y'all next week when I'm back home, and fight on.